Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see from the title of this video, today we are gonna have a mukbang slash story time. This story time is gonna be about the first time that I got into a car accident, and I was a passenger in the car accident. I wasn't driving, and we're gonna be eating Taco Bell. So I'll let you guys know how it goes tomorrow in the restroom because you already know how this is gonna turn out. Before this video begins, make sure to grab your snack, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, whatever it is, and let's eat together. So right now I'm gonna be eating the grande nacho box. These nachos, guys, are so good. I don't really like Taco Bell like that, but pretty good. I got my water here. I had ordered the pineapple freeze or something like that, the new one. And these mother truckers gave me 2 Pepsis instead of the drink. And I got Postmates. That's why I wasn't able to like say anything in the moment. The gag is, I don't even like Pepsi. I like Coke. Coke all the way. Okay. Enough of the food. Let's begin this story. Okay guys, so I'm gonna paint the picture for you guys. So it was a Sunday morning. It was September 30th, 2018. So it's been 2 years already. But I still remember it as if it was last month, you know? So it's still pretty fresh in my memory because it was very traumatic, as a car accident is. If you guys have ever been in a car accident, you know it's traumatic as fuck. Like, you're scared afterwards, like all of that. It was Sunday morning and we had gone out to breakfast. We had gone out to Denny's, to be exact, and we were gonna go, after Denny's, we were gonna make our way to an electronics store because I had just moved into my dorm. I wanted a printer and I wanted a TV. So, Mom, can you go get it? And she was like, yeah, let's go buy it for you because you're gonna need a printer. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to pay for printing services at my school. So we make our way to an electronics store. It was pretty far from my house, but nonetheless, we made our way. We went, we conquered, and I got my printer. Now, we were looking for a TV. I wanted a very particular TV. I didn't want anything big because I was sharing a room with another person. So I didn't want something huge. Like, I couldn't get a 43-inch TV because that was going to be too big for the space. I wanted a Samsung because it already had everything that I wanted, and I like, that's what I wanted. So Mom was like, okay, look for one and we'll go look for it. Mind you, it was me, my mom, and my grandma. My grandma is a senior. She's she's a grandma. My mom had a Toyota Camry, a 2007, I want to say, which she loved. She got that car when it was brand new. She got it in 2006 and it was a 2007 Toyota Camry. So that means she had gotten it very, very new. Very new for the year. This was 2018, so she had it for years now. She had it for years and she took care of it. So like I told you guys, we had got my printer and we were on our way to the house. My grandma was like, oh, we need to go get tortillas. We were gonna go get tortillas, and we get tortillas from this specific place. So we were like, I want to say 15 minutes from the house. So this tortilla place was kind of, we had already left it behind. So my mom was like, okay, let me just go straight, and then passing like the freeway, let's make a U-turn and we could go way back. Okay guys, let's take a quick intermission and let's take a bite from this. I think this is the crunch wrap. I've had this once before. It was pretty good. This shit is cold as hell, guys. It's good, but it's cold. There it is. Guys, I'm gonna try the Pepsi, which I haven't had in, I want to say, years. I don't really fuck with Pepsi. Okay, environmental friendliness. It's a paper. It's a paper straws. Ugh. It's so sweet, guys. I don't like Pepsi. Something about it. So let's get back to the story. So mind you guys, she had already been in a car accident, so she drives with fear. So she drives a little slower than a normal person would, right? A person who hasn't experienced a car accident would. I'm just gonna name random ass streets, okay? So she was going straight on Centinela Street, right? The intersecting street that's coming up, so she's going straight. The intersecting street that she's coming up on is called HP Street, right? So she's going down on Centinela, right? And from a distance, she notices that the guy who is going to make a left on HP Street, right? He's going to make a left on HP Street, is being very impatient. So, mind you, I'm on my phone, right? Because, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I'm looking on Best Buy. I'm looking on all these other random websites. I hear my mom, oh, like, look at this guy. Like, he's, like, I don't know what he's thinking. Like, I'm coming already or whatever. So, my mom notices him. So, she slows down, right? Before she even gets to HP, the HP Street, she's like already slowed down because she notices that the guy is being a little impatient. So then as soon as she pulls up to HP Street, right? So she's on Centinela. As soon as she pulls up to the intersection, she notices that the guy is already turning. So she honks at him, and mind you, the light was green for my mother, right? So the light was green. The light was green, like green as a healthy grass. Like it was green. It was green. So she slows down, and as she's approaching the intersection, she sees the guy. She honks at him. He still took the fucking left. So, as you may fucking know, he hit the fuck out of my mom. So he T-boned her because she was coming this way, and then he was gonna make a left. My mom honks. He takes it while we're right in front of him, like dead ass in front of him, and he whacks us on the side. So mind you, my mom was going at a speed. That wasn't a like fast speed. She was, I think, most likely going under 30 because she noticed him. So because she noticed him and because the light was green for her, she wasn't going to stop. So what was she going to do? Be cautious and honk. So she honked and he still took it. He was making a left. So obviously he had to put some speed in that motherfucking turn. When he pressed the accelerator and we were passing, he fucking T-boned my mom, which literally flew her car into the next lane, made her skirt forward. The only reason why my mom stopped was because she ended up hitting a light post. A light post, they're not like the ones that have the green, yellow. No, not those light posts. The ones that literally have like a light. When it gets dark, it turns on, right? That was the only reason why my mom was able to stop. Because she hit that light post, which knocked it down, which stopped the car from moving. Because my mom would have gotten on the sidewalk because as she was hit from the side, she was pushed and she was trying to brake, but obviously like with that much speed, obviously you're not going to be able to stop no matter how hard you press the brake, no matter what, because as soon as you're T-boned, your car catches speed. Like it's like boom. So that's what happened, right? So now guys, let's take a little break before I get into what happened inside the car. So now we are going to get a burrito. I've never tried these. They're like super, you know, and then the first bite I took was like all tortilla. So I don't know, it just didn't taste that good. So that's why I had to like break it apart and eat it all weird because yeah, it's just not that good. The next thing that I got out of the bag was the little taco. These are good. I've had some before. They're really good. The burrito was really nasty, guys, actually. It's so soggy, like, ew. I'm so glad I brought my water because I can't drink the Pepsi. You guys, we haven't even gotten to the best part of the story. So now, let me tell you what happened inside the car. So of course for us, as soon as we felt the hit, we got scared. We're like, what the fuck is going on? That wasn't the scariest part. As soon as my mom's car hit the post, which made it fall, is when the airbags popped up. So the airbags literally popped up in our faces. And if you've ever had an airbag pop in your face, that shit burns. That shit is heat. It just slaps the fuck out of you like a heat wave, just like boom, pop in your face. The fact of the matter is that has caused burns in people's faces. So all I know is that I was happy as fuck that it didn't burn my fucking face, because I've heard stories of it burning people's faces, and I'm like, I would have been pressed. Hey guys, so this is me editing, and I wanted to point something out to you guys that I didn't point out in the actual video, and that is that if the light post would have fallen towards the car, the damage would have been way worse, and it probably potentially could have affected us way more, because if the light post was fragile enough to fall because of the impact, just imagine how bad it would have been if that light post would have flown towards my mom's car. And I don't know if you guys can see in the window shield that's right in front of the passenger, there is a crack, and I don't know if it was caused by the impact of the guy or if it was caused because of the light post. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to point that out to you guys because I realized I didn't point it out in the actual video, and I feel like it's very important just to show the damage that this could have potentially caused, even more obviously besides the damage it already caused. And actually guys, the car was kind of already on the sidewalk, but the light post actually stopped the car from, you know, fully being on the sidewalk, and I didn't even realize that until just now. My body went into fight or flight because I was like, what the actual fuck just happened? Like, literally, that's what crossed my mind. I was like, I need to get out of this car and go drag whoever it was that hit us, because they were in the wrong 100%. I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this car, just in case something happened to my grandma, my mom, or something could have possibly happened to us, because with cars, you just never know. That shit could light up and adios. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, no. Like, let me get the hell out of this car. Also, you guys, I almost forgot to tell you. By the light post that we knocked down, there was a bus stop filled with people. So just imagine if my mom's car would have verted into that fucking bus stop. That would have been manslaughter. We would have killed people, for sure. Like, people, if you don't know how to drive, don't drive. If you're inconsiderate, if you lack empathy, please don't drive. Because some of us love our lives. So, like I said, you guys, my body went into fight or flight response. And like I said, I was like, who the fuck just hit us? Like, I was gonna go off on whoever that person was. Because, like, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Which one is it? But naturally, when you're with family, you're like, oh shit, let me go check up on them to see if there's anything wrong with them. So as soon as I'm like, oh shit, right? I could hear my mom talking. So I knew that she was okay, right? But I was like, let me get the fuck out of the car to see how my grandma is doing. So I opened the door, and my grandma was in pain because her right arm had hit the door and there was damage done to her arm, right? I'm gonna tell you guys later, like, the actual damages of each and every one of us. But for now, I'm gonna just tell you guys that. So now, my mom's door, her door was actually sunken in from the bottom. So there was no way in hell that she was gonna be able to get out of there. Because, like I mentioned, he T-boned us, so he got her door and the back door and the passenger door in the back. For starters, there were so many people there because it was Sunday afternoon. Like, everyone is out on Sundays, you know what I mean? Because my mom, she was like getting panicked because her car door would not open. Because, like I mentioned, there was no way in hell that she was gonna open. It was sunken in and it was not gonna open. It's like literal metal. You can't open metal once it's like stuck a certain way, you know? You can't do that. So of course she like starts going into fight or flight herself, and she's like, what the fuck do I do? And there was no way in hell I could help her because I was in excruciating pain in my left arm. You guys, like, I was like, what the actual fuck is going on? Because at first it started like tingling, you know? So I was like, what the fuck, you know? And then as soon as the time went by, like the seconds went by, I started feeling this great pain on my left side. I was like, oh hell no, bitch, what the fuck is going on? I look at my finger's bleeding. To have more control of my body, I guess, I put my arm out and that is when I think the airbag or something had cut my finger. So it had cut my finger, nothing major, but my finger was hella swollen. I think it was, yeah, it was this finger. It was like really bad or whatever. Also, you guys, I was so shaky. Like, I was so like, what the fuck just happened? I checked on my grandma, and like I said, I heard my mom that she was like okay, you know. But in that moment is when I went to go check on my grandma, is when I started hearing my mom like kind of yelling because she was panicked because her door was not opening. And I was like, oh shit, like what do we do? There's still good people in this world, you know. So this gentleman or whatever, he obviously saw what happened. He ran towards us and he helped my mom get out of their seats. And that's how my mom was able to get out. As soon as my mom was able to get out, I was like, where the fuck is this motherfucker at? Like, I started going off because I was so angry. And not just that, I feel like my blood pressure was like on 1,000, you guys. I was so angry. I was like, where the fuck is this guy at? Next thing I know, bitch, there's no car nearby. Like, not a single car in sight. I was like, oh, bitch, this was a hit and run. Homeboy said, adios. When I tell you guys, I was like, what a pussy ass bitch. I was like, oh, you hit somebody, then you leave? Oh, let's take a motherfucking bite, because this part is finna get crazy. So, do you see this part? This part right here is the best part of this. It's okay. I thought I liked it more, but yeah. I probably sent for my boyfriend because he really likes Taco Bell. When I met him, you guys, he was like a Taco Bell fanatic. I'm like, are you kidding me? ¿No te da chorro? O sea, qué asco. So, yeah. But I was like, no, I really like it, like blah blah. And then one day, it fucked up his stomach, and he was like, oh yeah, like, I'm never eating that again. But you know, he still eats it, but not as often as he used to. Bitch, when I was little, it fucked up my stomach like really bad, and I was like, never again. But this was a long time ago. And then the first time I ate Taco Bell again was because of him. Because he was eating some and I was like, I will buy it. He was like, yeah. And so then I tried it and it was pretty good. But I still don't trust Taco Bell. But it's cheap, so that's good. You get like a whole bag of burritos and a whole bag of tacos for like $5. Like, guess queen. Save some money. So let's get back into the story. The same guy that helped my mom get out of the car found the guy's license plate on the floor at the intersection that he was gonna turn left at. Bitch, his whole plate had came off. Bitch, God is huge. To me, that was like, somebody was protecting us. An angel, one of mine, one of my mom's, one of my grandma's, who's ever was protecting us. Because for that to happen, it's like, when does that ever happen? When does it ever just fall off of somebody's car? As soon as I got it, I took a picture of that shit. I think I called the cops, and then some other people that were near us also called the cops. Like, shortly after, you know, after the cops were called and everything, the ambulance came because we were really close to an emergency room. Thank God we had such a nice cop that helped us that day. Like, he wasn't like rude or anything. He was a really nice man. He was like he was really nice, which I was like so thankful for, because in that moment you don't even want to talk to nobody. Like, you don't want to have to explain what happened to somebody, because you yourself are processing, what the hell just happened to me? What did I just experience? Like, what? You know, the ambulance came, whatever. They checked me. I was like, I'm fine. It's just my arm hurts, you know. Yeah, so then my mom, it was her turn to get checked up on, basically, because mind you, I was 17 at this point. So I wasn't grown or anything. No, like, I was 17. So I was considered a minor. So I was checked first. I was like, I'm good. My mom was checked second. And my grandma was checked last. Like, my grandma was like, I'm okay. My mom was next. The paramedics told her that her blood pressure was really high. Well, obviously, I think all of our blood pressures was high because we were so fucking scared. And then secondly, another thing that kind of alarmed them was that her shin and her calves were swollen. Like, they were swollen as fuck. And I think it was because of, obviously, the impact. So anyways, they take her to the emergency room, and then I called my tia. I was like, tia, we just got into a car accident. And they were like, oh, okay, like, we'll go, right? Like I told you guys earlier, we were like 15 minutes from the house at this point. So they weren't that far from us. So they come or whatever, and they see my mom's car, and they're like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, yeah, like, this shit was bad. They were like, oh, like, I thought it was just like a little, you know, little boom, a little car accident. I was like, no, girl, my mom's car is totaled. She was like, oh shit, you know, where's your mom? I was like, they took her to the emergency room because she had high blood pressure because of the impact as well. My mom actually had a hole in her shirt. It had burnt off. It had burnt her shirt off, and it was like a little hole like this, and it was, her shirt was like just missing, right? And then that was another thing, because we're like, what the fuck happened there? You know, we didn't know what was internally wrong. So I was like, oh yeah, you need to go. My mom calls me. She's like, Dana, you need to go to the emergency room. We need to see what's going on or whatever. I was like, okay. So then me and my grandma, we go to the emergency room. And I told you guys, we were like 5 minutes away from an emergency room. So it was like right there. And then, so we went to the emergency room, and thank God to all the gods, because since I was 17, I was able to go in with an adult. So I took my aunt and we went together, and I was so happy that she was able to go with me, because I was on the verge of a mental breakdown at any minute, because I was so fucking mad, sad, like confused. I was just on 10, bitch. I was like angry, all of it. If you're from Los Angeles, you know there's an emergency room in LA, and it's very known. And they are rude. They are so rude. And I was so happy that my aunt was with me, because there was this fucking woman that was so rude to some people. If this bitch tries me, if she tells me something that I do not like, I'm gonna cuss her out, because I was so mad, you guys. I was so mad. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me, but I was just so mad. Like, she's being so rude for no reason. Like, tell her to shut the fuck up. And my dad was like, you know, let's move over there. So we end up getting our stuff, and we moved further away from people, so I didn't have to hear anybody. Then all of a sudden, I start crying. Like, uncontrollably crying, because I was like, I was just so confused, sad, annoyed, mad, irritated, frustrated. Every emotion, I was feeling it in that second. So I was just crying to my tia. I was like, tia, like, you know, I feel so bad for my mom, because, you know, and it was more that too. I was like, I feel so bad for my mom. This is her car that she's had for years, and now she's gonna have to restart a payment, because this car was paid off. She was only paying her car insurance. She wasn't paying the car no more. So I was so fucking mad. And like I said, I just started crying, and I was so happy that my aunt was there with me. So then, you know, they do all the general, you know, like blood pressure, all of that. If you have any medical conditions, all of that. They asked those questions. I said, no, I have nothing. My blood pressure was good, of course. And then we proceed to the x-ray room, because my arm, you guys, my whole left arm, like, started from right here all the way down, numb. I couldn't feel my arm. That was another thing that was stressing me out. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, so I was like, you know, my arm really hurts. Like, can you do something about this? So they gave me painkiller medicine. Once it sit in, I didn't feel anything anymore, but I knew that there was something wrong with my arm internally, because, like, it just didn't make sense, you know. Then they took an x-ray of my arm and of my back, because my back was in pain and my arm was in really bad pain or whatever. So like, nothing was broken, nothing was fractured, any of that. It was really late when we got out. It was like really late. But we left, you know, and we all left together. Me, my mom, my grandma, my aunt, we all left together. After that, you know, we get out of there, and we're like, what the fuck just happened? You know, all of us were just like, what the fuck just happened? You know, we all have our heart to heart. We cry it out. We do all of that. We're not even home at this point, you guys. And you know how I told you guys that we went to Denny's and I had leftovers? those leftovers were all over the place. And I also had a coffee, I think. The coffee had splattered all over the car. I got in like a French toast or whatever all over the back seat. It was just, mind you guys, when the tow truck did come pick up the car, I wasn't home because I was living in college, so I was dorming. So I would come back, like that. So when the tow truck company came for the car, I wasn't there. I later found out that when the tow truck did come, she was like crying or whatever because obviously it was her first paid off car. Okay, so like I told you guys, we had a really nice cop who was with us there to write the report. Like I told you guys, his license plate had fallen off like a dumbass. So the cop knew his name, his address, and everything. So he told me, I'm gonna go to his house. If I find him, I'm gonna go to your mom because I know where she's at. She was in the emergency room getting checked up on. He was like, I'm gonna go to your mom. I'm gonna tell her that we find him, and then she could proceed whatever she wants to do after that. Then we found out that he actually had the same insurance as my mom, and we found out his name. So his name was like a generic Latino name. So he was a Latino and he was a man. That's how I know he was a man. We were able to get physical therapy, I think it's called. And my mom and my grandma were able to find out like what their pains were. My mom, I think it was something about her discs in her back. My grandma, there's like a ligament that we have in our arms that completely fucked up in my grandma. So for months, she couldn't move her arm more than this. So let's say she needed to get something that was up here, she couldn't because this was all her arm gave her because of that car accident. And then hers was the most like damage, I guess, that was done. After the car accident, her arm was tore up. Like she really couldn't move it much. But then after that, like after la sobaron, like it's basically like a massage or whatever that they give people. But it helps like fix their body parts that are not right in place and all the other stuff. It kind of helped her a little bit. Me, like I told you guys, it comes and it goes. Like it's here and there. Like it's not all the time, but I still feel it, So I wanted to share that quick story with you guys because of course, like, it's something very big that happened in my life, and I hope it made sense. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this story time / mukbang. Oh my god, you guys, I almost forgot. I got these Cinnabon, I don't know what you call them. They're like these Cinnabon thingies. Let's try them. They taste like churros. It's good. With a little crema inside of it. If you drive, please be better. Please, please. Because you don't know how it can affect another person. What you do, your actions matter. Your actions matter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, guys, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I'm gonna leave my ads in the description, so you make sure to go follow me. I enjoyed spending my time with you, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.